Darren Till's back in the media again. The coke fiend himself, the crazy, chaotic, wild man himself, the guy who just can't seem to keep his shit together, is back in the media realm. He talked to Ariel Helwani yesterday on Ariel Helwani's show and had some interesting things to say. Kind of went on an epic rant. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? We can debate that in this video in the comments down below. Some of the stuff I agree with. Some of it comes from a good place. Some of it comes from the heart, which I understand. But some of this stuff is just business, Darren. And Darren doesn't seem to understand the business side of things. And Darren doesn't seem to understand the moral side of things either when we talk about what Saudi Arabia is doing in getting involved in combat sports. What does this mean for the future of combat sports? That's what we have to discuss in this video today. Let's go over Darren Till's epic rant on Ariel Helwani's show. Let's see what Darren Till had to say regarding the new fights, the big fights being made in boxing, MMA in Saudi Arabia.
Everyone stop chatting shit and talking about my ego this, my ego that. As much as I love Dana White, there's one thing that pisses me off. Just make the fucking fight with Francis Ngannou. We don't care that you don't like Francis and Francis doesn't like you. Guess what? Wow, we don't care. No one's asked. Let's just watch John Jones versus Tom Aspinall, Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, and let them all fight, and then we'll say, right, he's the best right now. We don't care that, oh, he said something mean to me one time. We're not asked. Who cares? I don't care. Why do you care? UFC's always been the best because we give the best fights. Now, Sheikh Al-Sheikh is coming along and making all the best fights in boxing that all these divvy promoters, because they all lie through the teeth, couldn't make. Sheikh Al-Sheikh is now doing that. Now people are still chatting shit, but we're getting the best fights. We just want to see the best fights. Do you agree, Ariel?
Couldn't agree more. Thank you for saying that. Couldn't agree more.
Okay, let's back it up. Fun rant here from Darren Till to start it off. Let's start from the beginning, back it up, just listen to it one more time.
Everyone stop chatting shit and talking about my ego this, my ego that. As much.
So he's talking about Dana White, Francis Ngannou going back and forth, talking about the money. Dana White has been disparaging Francis, probably going a little bit too far into the character assassination realm. Francis Ngannou saying a lot of bad things about the UFC, it's this whole thing going on between the two. PFL's talking mad shit, saying they're the best, they're better, they're just as good as the UFC. UFC's saying, what the fuck is the PFL talking about? There's a lot to discuss here, and we can get into the nitty-gritty details of it. But to sum it up, PFL thinks they're just as good as the UFC, and the UFC thinks they are nothing. And I tend to lean more Dana White's direction. The PFL does not put on anywhere near the level of product value that the UFC does. Don Davis, in an interview, said that you're watching the same thing when you watch a PFL fight night as you are when you're watching a fucking UFC fight night. If you put on the worst UFC Apex card you could possibly fucking imagine, it probably draws more viewers than the best PFL card. Whoa, hot take here. I mean, it's just true. The PFL doesn't have any fans. The UFC has a promotion and has Dana White and has all these characters built in that people are really excited for, and people are fans of the UFC no matter what. People are fans of real MMA no matter what. The PFL isn't even real MMA. You cannot elbow people in the PFL. You're taking away one of the biggest weapons in MMA. Come on now, this isn't the same. Darren Till saying stop talking shit, chatting shit online. It's back and forth. It's just this ego battle between the UFC and PFL. We just want to see the best fights. That's true, Darren. To an extent, I want to see the best fights. But morally, there's things going on in Saudi Arabia that don't make sense at all.
As much as I love Dana White, there's one thing that pisses me off. Just make the fucking fight with Francis Ngannou. We don't care that you don't like Francis and Francis doesn't like you. Guess.
Yes, the biggest fight you could probably make marketing-wise right now would be John Jones, the legend of the light heavyweight division, has moved up to heavyweight, and Francis Ngannou, arguably the scariest man ever, the lineal heavyweight champion of MMA. This would be blockbuster. This would be one of the biggest fights you could make in the UFC right now. What? Darren Till, speaking the truth here. Dana White doesn't like Francis. He's taking everything very personally. The PFL doesn't want anything to do with the UFC doesn't want anything to do with co-promoting. The PFL is trying to do it, but the PFL needs that because they're such a lesser brand than the UFC. Of course, they want to cross-promote. The UFC, as a business, though, can't do that. What if your champion, Jon Jones, loses to Francis? What happens then? Now the PFL has this notoriety over the UFC. This bum-ass promotion that Dana White keeps talking about, the PFL, oh, that bum over there in PFL. Well, he just beat your champion. What if that happens? That would be massive. A massive loss for the UFC. Just in terms of the promotional aspect, the public appeal, the aspect in which fans look into the UFC would be like, well, wait, he lost to somebody that's not even in the UFC. I don't even know what the PFL is. And they beat the UFC. Like, it's a business thing, man. There is credibility that would be gained from the PFL that the UFC doesn't need to lose and doesn't see themselves losing anytime soon if they don't follow through with this cross promotion. But if Saudi Arabia chucks billions of dollars into this, millions and millions and millions into the fighters, then maybe something happens. Would I like to see it? Yeah, I would like to see it. But again, the whole deal with Saudi Arabia, what does this really mean? What is Saudi Arabia trying to do here? They've got ties to Ramzan Kadyrov. We know how they treat people of different religions over there. We know how they treat people of different sexualities over there, different races over there. Like, they're not quite as nice and pretty and fancy as they seem. There's something going on underneath it all. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Wow, we don't care. No one's asked. Let's just watch Jon Jones versus Tom Aspinall, Rant versus Jon Jones, and let them all fight. And it was.
Yes. If they can put the money together, I would love to fucking see it. Jon Jones cannot, we will not let him get away with fighting an old Stipe who's probably not even up to standards for fighting Jon Jones in MMA, in the octagon, at UFC 309, in November, at MSG, big time stage. This is not worthy of a true greatest fighter of all time, okay? Stipe deserves credit, no doubt, but he's old and he's kind of, dare I say, washed up. I haven't seen him fight in years, but this guy, I don't know what's going to happen. And Jon Jones beating an old guy like that and then running away and retiring, unacceptable. If you want to be the baddest motherfucker of all time, you got to beat a Tom Aspinall. Take on all comers, all challengers. Tom Aspinall is the last guy. Now, we talk about all the time, oh, if he hadn't retired, all he needed to do to cement himself as the GOAT, he needed to beat this guy. We get that. But there's no guy in the heavyweight division like a Tom Aspinall. Sorry. If Jon Jones beats Tom Aspinall and then rides off into the sunset, fine. I'll give him his flowers. He's the GOAT. Whatever. I will let him have it. But he won't do it. I don't think he's going to do it. There's no way he does it. He won't do it. Because he knows what's going to happen in that fight. There is nobody else. We thought it was maybe going to be Sergey Pavlovich, the next guy after Tom Aspinall. But Pavlovich did not win against Volkov. And he got knocked out against Tom Aspinall. It's not happening. There are no more guys in heavyweight. Tom Aspinall is the last one he needs to beat. And man, if they got a Francis Ngannou and Jon Jones fight together, yes, I would be so over the moon. I'd be so excited for it. But again, what's going on over in Saudi Arabia to allow this to even happen? We got to start discussing this. Everybody needs to jump in on this. Are they making the best fights? Yes. But what are you sacrificing morally to get there?
Say, right, he's the best right now. We don't care that, oh, he said something mean to me one time. We're not asked. Who cares?
Exactly. All this stuff going on between Dana White and Francis. On Dana White's side of things, it's all promotional bullshit. Remember what he said years ago? Oh, Jon Jones, he's trying to move up to heavyweight. Well, Dana White said, again, oh, well, Francis, man, he looked fucking scary in there. If I was Jon Jones, I'd move down to middleweight. Like, Dana White has to promote, and he has to go back and forth and flip-flop on guys when things go wrong and things go good. It's promotion. Francis Ngannou, to an extent, listen, is it slanderous by Dana White? I think so. I think it's kind of despicable what Dana White is doing to Francis right now. But Francis needs to let it just roll off the shoulder because it's promotional bullshit. That's all it is from Dana White. Francis, you're not involved in a lot of media anyway. Just let it roll off. It doesn't fucking matter. People are going to forget about it in 6 months when Tom Aspinall beats up on Jon Jones, if that fight even came together. Like, it doesn't matter. It's just on to the next. Dana White's lying about this until he finds the next lie, until he finds the next story. That's part of promotion.
I don't care. Why do you care? UFC's always been the best because we give the best fight. Now, take
the UFC has always been the best because they give the best fights. They will be the best because they give the best fights. I'm sorry, but Francis Ngannou versus Renan Ferreira, who fucking cared outside of the hardcores? All the hardcores probably tuned into it, but who the fuck cares outside of that? Let me see how the pay-per-views did. Did you sell 100,000 pay-per-views? I fucking doubt it. Let's be honest here. What are we doing? It's always been the UFC, and it will be the UFC until something really comes along and a conglomerate emerges that involves the PFL, Bellator, and one championship. It's just, it won't happen until everybody goes against the UFC and everybody gets together. I mean, come on.
Sheik is coming along and making all the best fights in boxing that all these divvy promoters, because they all lied through the teeth, couldn't make. Sheikh Al-Sheikh is now doing that.
Turki Al-Sheikh, the Middle Eastern guy, the Saudi Arabian, the head of the sports ministry of blah, blah, blah over there in Saudi Arabia, is getting shit done. Why is he getting shit done? Because they have the fucking oil money to get there. Do you know where oil money comes from? Anybody out there want to tell me what they do to people of other religions, people to other, sexualities, races over there when the cameras are off, when the backs are turned? What do the Saudis do to these people? Not the Saudi people that live there, not the normal people there, but the people that are in charge of getting shit together like this. Do you know what they do? Do you know what their leaders do to people of other religions if they're trying to practice religion? There is no freedom of religion over there. Do you not understand how this shit works? Everybody says, oh, Saudi Arabia is the nicest place, the safest place. Oh, Dubai is the safest place, the nicest place. Everybody says please and thank you. Yes, because the people of Saudi Arabia, the normal everyday people of Saudi Arabia, are good Muslim people, are good faithful Muslim people. But the leaders in this country and the laws that stop them from doing crime, from committing acts of terror over there, normal people are the good people. It's the fucking people in charge, man. They'll fucking chop your hand off if you steal some shit. Like, of course. Listen, committing crimes is not a good thing. But if I'm shoplifting, if I'm a poor person and I steal something off a fucking cart somewhere, they're gonna chop my fucking hand off? These people are fucking brutal. The leaders of these places are fucking brutal. The normal everyday people are good people because they're practicing their religion. They're moral people, but it's the fucking people in charge that are fucking brutal. There's no democracy over there. There's no, I voted for this person and they're in charge. It's whoever fucking comes up next. What are we doing here? Where do you think this money comes from? Oil money? There's still slavery over there. Good grief. I mean, what are we doing? Talking about how we want the best fights to happen. Don't get me wrong. I want to see the best fights too. But what are you sacrificing morally? What are you giving up to get there? That's what needs to be discussed. Because as much as I want these big fights to happen, as much as I want to see Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall fight and Jon Jones and Francis Ngannou fight, it just doesn't work if you're getting there via these means. If you're getting there via corruption and terrible acts of violence, slavery, this, that, their government over there is not run by good people. Like, it doesn't look as nice as they do show it on the promotional, on the TV. It's not like that in real life, okay? When they turn the cameras off, it's a completely different story over there. Do we remember what happened in Qatar just a few years ago at the World Cup? That journalist that was kidnapped and fucking killed at the World Cup, covering the event? It's the same fucking region. It's the same area. It's the same kind of people in charge. What are you giving up by getting these big fights? Food for thought. I hate boxing promoters. I agree with Darren Till. All these boxing promoters lie through their teeth. They don't want to come to agreement over money, this and that. If you want to make a lot of fucking money, you lower the pay-per-view price and you get the best fights ever made put together. Who cares if this guy's lost and this guy's lost? If you get that shit together, they're going to be making so much money if they put the right fights together. Fuck Saudi Arabia. Why does Turki Al-Sheikh have to be the one that puts it together just because he has the most money? If you want to make money outside of them, Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, Bob Arum, all these guys, get the fucking together and pull your shit together and get it done. Dana White, Don Davis, y'all want to do some shit? Do it, man. If the money's there, do it. But it's business, man. It's about business. And it's about what are you giving up morally to watch these fights. Because trust me, I don't know how I feel about watching any more of this Riyadh season stuff. Just personally, from a moral standpoint, what is happening to all the people behind the scenes? How did these arenas get built? How did all this stuff happen? What came together to get this money? Who's working the oil rigs out there? Come on now, what are we joking ourselves with? Is everybody in MMA this retarded? Is this stupid? That you don't understand what's going on over there? Come on, smarten up, go look it out, check it out, find out what you need to find out about there. If anybody out there is from Saudi Arabia, from the region, tell me wrong. Because I know if somebody from that area sees this video, it's probably just some fucking normal person who lives their life and is a good moral person who carries on with their daily life with dignity. He's not involved in politics or the government or how things are run over there. It's just a normal guy. Those are the people that I don't mind. Those are good people. Those are people that I would shake their hand and love them like any other person. But it's these people in charge that are also in charge of getting all this MMA and boxing stuff together. Let's continue the video.
Now people are still chatting shit, but we're getting the best fight. We just want to see the best fights.
Yeah, we do, but I gotta talk shit when it comes to this Saudi Arabia stuff and these leaders in Saudi Arabia. Darren, I still gotta talk shit because guess what? It's not right what they're doing over there. Yeah, I can talk shit. Now, people talking shit about other things, whatever, but this is the inflection point here. We've seen what the corruption is over there. We've seen these weigh-ins. We've seen the judging. We've seen the reffing over there. There's something going on over there that is not right.
Do you agree, Ariel?
Couldn't agree more. Thank you for saying that. Couldn't agree more. And by the way, it's so easy to make this fight because of Turkey. And also, they're both on ESPN, PFL, and UFC.
Let me remind you that Ariel Helwani is a Jewish man, okay? They do not allow you, dude, as a Jewish man, to practice your religion over there. And yet, you just need to get paid, get your job done, and you're willing to do anything over there. Maybe he's not a practicing Jewish guy. I don't know. I don't know how religious Ariel is. Probably not very religious. But do you know what they do to your people over there? They don't let you practice your religion. That's a fucking big deal. What are we doing?
On ESPN, they have the same broadcast partner. Everyone wins. It's never been easier.
Look.
Yes, the PFL and ESPN are on ESPN. UFC also on ESPN. It all works. It all should work. Why do you need Turki Al-Sheikh to make it happen? Why do you need that to happen? They don't. You don't. You don't need it. You don't need to go over there and sell your souls to these people.
I speak to Dane and I speak to Hunter a lot still. Like, I have a great relationship. I think he's a fucking terrific human being. And I love Dana White, I do. People can chat shit.
All right, so here we go. Just a quick side note. Hunter Campbell, again, getting all the praise in the world from these guys because he's the one doing a lot of the work behind the scenes. It's not all just Dana White. Dana White's kind of just the face, the figurehead, the talking head right now. Hunter Campbell seems to be really taking over a lot of these operations. Just got to mention that.
I love him. But this thing, I know he's got a being as bonnet to Francis. And guess what, as I said, don't judge. I don't judge the shit that Connor does outside the cage, or John Jones, or myself. The shit that you don't know that I get up to, that I use it vomit at. I just don't care. I care about the fight.
I got it. This really is an epic rant by Darren Till. All the bullshit politics, the Saudi Arabia, all this stuff aside, this is a fantastic rant from Darren Till, and I think this is a lot of what people hold. This is a lot of the opinions of the fans, casual fans, hardcore fans. Everybody feels this way for the most part. I just don't understand why nobody's talking about what's going on over in the Middle East in terms of the corruption, the way the ruling class is taking over stuff, and the way that they're just dealing out this money to make themselves look better, okay? Not too long ago were these guys back in the back of the rankings in terms of all the world's countries, how we perceive them. All this stuff they're doing with this boxing and MMA and this tennis matches and the soccer, they're trying to make the country of Saudi Arabia look better than it is. Here's what we look like to the outside world. Here's what it's like if you come on vacation here. But what is it like when you actually live there day to day? That's my question. Again, if anybody out there sees this, it's from the area. Fucking tell me wrong. Prove me wrong, because I don't know. I don't live there. I've never been there. It's frustrating, man. I don't understand.
I don't care that John Jones is on the cocaine a week before the fight. I couldn't give a rat's ass. I'll get on the cocaine with him to make us all happy. I want to see John Jones versus...
Dude, Darren Till, I don't know what... This dude's like high off his rocker in this video, but it's fucking epic. I gotta give him credit. I can't give him enough credit for this. It's fucking hilarious. Coked up John Jones, coked up Darren Till, don't care. Just get the fights together. I don't disagree with Darren Till in that aspect, but how and why is it happening?
From hospital, Francis Ngannou versus John Jones, and then I can sit there as a fan like you, Ariel, and say, that's the best guy.
Yeah, that's all we want.
Do we agree with that? Go and get your ego and shove it right up your ass where we can't see it.
Dude, this is fucking hilarious. This is an all-time fucking promo here from Darren.
Sorry for ranting, Ariel, but I feel so strongly about it.
I love this from you. I love this.
Listen, I feel just as strong if you take away the moral aspect of things. Get these fucking fights put together. Boxing fucking sucks right now because they can't get their shit together. We're right on the cusp of greatness here with MMA and boxing cross promotion. Get it fucking done.
This from you, Darren. It's about time someone says it.
It's like, yeah, because I don't give a fuck. Like, I couldn't care. Like, because people know what kind of guy I am and what I'm about. Like, they can say what they want about me, but I know I speak sense deep down. Like, every time a boxing promoter is asked a question about another boxing promoter, it's like, well, he did this and he said that, and we don't care. You're just a promoter.
Who the fuck cares? I don't fucking care about Eddie Hearn. I don't care about Bob Arum and his old ass. I don't care about Frank Warren. These guys don't fucking matter to me. I fucking 100% agree with Darren Till here. Fantastic. I don't care if he's going crazy in this video. The rant is good. I love what he's got to say. The passion from him. He's speaking from a true fan's perspective, from the heart. I understand where he's coming from. Good stuff from Darren Till here. It's true. I don't care. I just want to see the best fights. Get that shit made.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth and make the fight. Like, Eddie, we don't care what De La Hoya's saying about you. We know he's a crazy cocaine head, but at the end of the day, can we just work together to make all these fights? Gervonta Davis is still fighting absolutely.
Let's fucking work together without Turki Al-Sheikh. Get it fucking done without Turki Al-Sheikh. Why did it have to take all this shit to make it happen? Why does it have to take breaking the moral bank, selling your soul just to get this shit done? Because now you're doing it without question when it comes to all this Saudi money, this Saudi oil money, this Saudi slave money. It's very frustrating because you could easily do this without them. Drop the prices of the pay-per-views and get the fights put together. Because one guy will have the best fighter one day, and then a couple years later, another guy will have the best fighter, and it'll just go back and forth. It's a business, I understand. And that's why we're having trouble getting shit together. It's a business. But the business of boxing is fucking terrible right now. And all these guys are all corrupt if they want to buy into this bullshit.
Bums. Why is he not fighting Devin Haney? Why is these rematches of Ryan Garcia can't get made? Why? Why is Anthony Joshua not fought Tyson Fury yet? Can I tell you? Now that fight's gone because Joshua's just been fucking absolutely done by fucking Dubois.
This is brilliant.
I can be on Darren Till's side emotionally and also come from the angle of, hey, I get why they don't do it because it is a business, and that's what we have to remember. They're all in it for themselves, and it sucks, okay? It's true. It's a business, and reality is reality. They're all in it for themselves. They all want their own money. They all want to see, how do I get the best guy? How do I make the most money? And it's just difficult to make it happen. And unfortunately, the money that Saudi and Turkey Al-Sheikh are throwing at them is the only thing that will get them to come together.
It's not, because now I'm just going to get talk shit about on Twitter and everyone's going to come at me and call me a bum.
No.
I think that's mostly untrue. I think Darren Till just ranted in a fashion that most fans feel. Most fans just want to see the best fights. If you're going to be corrupt and sell your soul to Saudi, get the best shit made and get out of the way. Just, if you're going to do it, do it. And listen, I kind of disagree. I very much disagree, really, to be honest with you. And I don't know. We'll see what happens. Am I still probably going to tune in? Yeah, but I'm not going to be paying for no fucking pay-per-view anymore. They don't deserve my money. What am I paying for exactly? What are they doing when they're promoting all these women over there? We know how they treat women over there. Okay? Why are they doing this? It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all a facade. It's all this cover up and, basically fake virtue signaling to, hey, look at how nice we are. Look at how we treat people. Look at how we treat women, even though we're doing this and we don't treat women all that well in reality. When we turn the cameras off of Saudi Arabia, when we turn our backs on Saudi Arabia, what are they really doing behind the scenes? I'll leave it up to you. If you don't like this, if you disagree, fucking tell me. Prove me wrong, seriously, because you can't just fucking put up a smoke and mirrors show and put on this fake show. It's like the fucking Wizard of Oz. That motherfucker wasn't no magician. Okay? It's the same fucking thing. The people in charge over there, not good people. Okay? Turkey Al-Sheikh seems to be pretty good friends with Ramzan Kadyrov. A fucking war criminal. Okay? Dude rounds up his own people and fucking takes them off. Pops them off. Get him out of here. Kills them, right? Do we all understand this? Anyway. Let me know what you guys think about this. Darren Till's epic rant to Ariel Helwani. Coming from the heart, speaking as a real fan of the sport. But business is business, and morals are morals. I'll catch you guys in the next one.